support the motion say aye, and those who are against the motion say nay. The ayes have it.
Hello and thanks for joining us on the program. I am Dennis Adegunloye. The budget defense exercise by ministries, departments and agencies before the various joint Senate and House committees is fast approaching the business end, with the legislators of both chambers working towards passage of the 2024 appropriation bill before the end of the year and to maintain the January to December budget cycle. And to this end, standing committees have commenced the submission of reports before the Committee on Appropriation.
As the joint committees of the Senate and House of Representatives round off budget defense engagements with the various ministries, departments and agencies of government on the 2024 proposals, activities have shifted to the Appropriation Committee, which is saddled with ensuring finishing touches to the budget before presentation to plenary for passage. The committee emphasizes the resolve of Parliament to stick to the January to December budget cycle.
From January 1st to December 31st of every year. And this 10th Senate or 10th National Assembly, we do not intend to change the tradition. We want to sustain the tradition. And in sustaining the tradition, we need to ensure that this budget is passed into law before the end of the year. And that is what we are working to.
There is high collaboration between the executive up initio, even when the budget was being prepared. So I think most of it will be just crossing the T's and dotting the I's and doing some arithmetic.
Some chairmen of standing committees that presented their harmonized budget reports solicited for increased capital funding to have desired impact.
Tourism cannot even make a simple hop with the amount of money allocated to it. If we want tourism to be a driving force in Nigeria, it needs a lot more funding than it's getting.
Nigerians in the Diaspora Commission should be treated as a standalone agency, having its own budget and not funded under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The committee therefore approved the insertion of 5 new line items to the capital budget.
Provision of 47 million to 4.3 billion, to me, is a quantum leap. Okay? What we need to do is to segment the capital needs into short-term and medium-term.
The Senate also accelerated the process for passage of the 21.8 trillion naira 2023 Appropriation Act Amendment Bill by taking the first, second and third readings. A similar consideration was extended to the 2.176 trillion naira 2023 Supplementary Appropriation Act Amendment Bill.
The amendments made provisions for extended implementation of the capital components of the two budgets from 31st December 2023 to 31st March 2024.
In view of the critical importance of some key projects nearing completion, it is expedient to grant extension of the expiration clause to avoid compounding the problems of abandoned projects, given that some of the projects were not provided for in the 2024 budget. Hence, the need to extend the implementation year.
Senate has confirmed the appointment of 11 justices of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, as recommended by the Senate Committee on Judiciary.
The nominees individually and collectively demonstrated sufficient knowledge and firm grasp of the law and other topical, contemporary and jurisprudential issues.
They are well qualified. They do not have any negative thing to be attached to each and every one of them.
I want to thank the President of Federal Republic. Like Southeast, we were left for almost 7 years without a judge in the Supreme Court. Entire Southeast.
For the first time, we have a Supreme Court justice from Plateau State. Justice Sankey.
The burden will be less, far less actually, if they have more resources to work with. We can do something. Let's try it from this budget.
I want to commend the president for even nominating this number of appointees into the Supreme Court for the first time.
The exercise was seamless. The nominees were asked various questions as to their career, and career progression, and they have answered the question creatively well.
Now, Deputy President of the Senate, Barau Jibrin, says research and innovation are essential to strengthening democracy in Nigeria. While hosting the management staff of the Nasarawa State University, Senator Barau said Nigeria has, since the return to democratic governance 24 years ago, recorded progress in several areas. The Vice-Chancellor of the National State University said the visit was to seek a collaboration with the National Assembly, as the university has now established an Institute of Legislative and Democratic Studies to encourage research on democracy and legislative practice. A former clerk to the National Assembly, Salisu Mekasua, was also appointed as the director of the institute.
Really go into research about our democracy to bring in innovations that will help to strengthen our democracy, and not only confine yourself within the borders of Nigeria. I'm sure our neighbors will like to come in and study in university.
We are also going to provide knowledge to postgraduate students through part-time, through online models, to also acquire knowledge on legislative and democratic practice.
And former Minister of Labour and Employment, Simon Bakula was in the week sworn in as Senator representing Plateau South. This followed an appellate court judgment in his favour. Senator Lalong calls it a homecoming because his political journey began at the state legislature.
The court had on 7th November 2023 affirmed Lalong as the duly elected senator representing Southern Zone of Plateau State while serving as a minister of the Federal Republic. Lalong resigned his position at the Labour and Employment Ministry to enable him take up his seat in the Senate.
As a member of the Senate,
I will perform my functions.
I will perform my functions
honestly to the best of my ability.
honestly to the best of my ability.
Faithfully in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Faithfully in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
We look forward to getting his robust ideas on all items on our agenda paper. So, Senator Lalong, once again, congratulations on your inauguration today.
Meanwhile, Senate President declares vacant the seats of Ebonyi South and Yobe East senatorial districts. The two seats were occupied by Senator David Umahi and Senator Ibrahim Gaidam, who are now serving ministers.
And a reception was later held in honor of Senator Simon Bako Lalong.
Less than 3 hours after being sworn in as Senator representing Plateau South Senatorial District, Senator Simon Bako Lalong arrives at the venue of the reception. A reception that transcends mere congratulatory forum. It was a gathering of progressives, especially the people of Plateau State, who described the former governor's entrance into the Senate as a continuation of selfless service to the people.
But I will continue to strive to learn your patience. Sometimes I look at him, I say, are you supposed to be in politics or you are supposed to be a reverend father in the church?
He has encouraged women on the plateau. He has involved so many women in governance.
I have not seen any politician in Shandam that developed Shandam the way it is today.
The former governor, who was also Speaker, Plateau State House of Assembly for 8 years, acknowledged the opportunity given to him by the president to serve as minister, and that he is ready to give Plateau South the best representation.
They gave me mandate as governor, they gave me this mandate. And the people are saying I should not make any choice. I must come back and represent them.
Governor Lalong has been known as the most humble governor, the most humble speaker, the most humble minister, the most humble now senator to come out of Plateau State.
So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are celebrating greatness.
On the 7th of November 2023, the appeal court declared Senator Simon Lalong winner of the Plateau South Senatorial District.
Vice Chairman, Senate Committee on Environment, Ned Nwoko, has called for an investigation into the incessant and nefarious acts of crude oil theft in the Niger Delta region. He also decries the environmental degradation caused by oil spillage and gas flaring in the area. Here he is speaking on these and other issues of national importance.
We're not an industrialized nation. Our gas emissions are at a minimum level. How such a jamboree could affect the lives of people in Delta or in Lagos or in Anambra is what you are yet to tell me, or anybody can tell me. I am more realistic about what we can do for ourselves. The most that could have happened from that particular conference is some nations pledging to give us money. That's not my idea of growth. We have the money here. We can grow from within. We can develop from within. First of all, I am not against borrowing. What we just need to focus on are those solutions that we know can help Nigeria long term, not just because some. Look, I was invited, but I didn't go because for me it's just a waste of time. We have issues in Delta, for example. Let me just try and break it down for you. We have environmental degradation resulting from or arising from pipeline vandalization and oil leakages, crude oil leakages. We have gas flaring. In my senatorial district, out of the 9 local government areas, we have 5 of them have gas flaring problems. And of course, it affects everybody because gas flaring can be there in Ukwani, but the breeze blows it across everywhere, isn't it? So people have health issues. People are not able to farm anymore because the waters are polluted. People are not able to fish because the fish have all died. And then this same people are not getting any respite from the government. They are unemployed. So you must start to understand that for somebody like me, my concern is what can be done to get people employed, get people engaged, get people to have meaningful livelihood that they will not think of crime. Insecurity in Nigeria is principally because of the fact that people are disillusioned, isn't it? People feel abandoned. People are neglected. You cannot, achieve much through international conferences unless you address the real issues back home. And so I will say to you that our economy is in dire strait. People are not happy. And when people are not happy, when they feel left out, they take up arms. Nobody is providing for them. So you see, the youths of Nigeria, many of them have been disillusioned for so long. So anybody coming to tell them that this is the best way they can fend for themselves, they become easily dissuaded persuaded. That's what just imagine those who are members of Boko Haram or the so-called bandits or kidnappers or ESN, IPOB, you name them, different groups springing up here and there. I mean, why are they so disillusioned? What are they fighting for? I think the solution lies in what the governments can do. So if anybody is thinking that going for one or two international conferences is going to be the solution to our problems, the president, I will wish them good luck, but I think otherwise. The first one that I proposed has to do with investigating oil thefts in Niger Delta area. We know that there are many problems in that sector. Many people are concerned about what's going on. The oil production is affected adversely by oil theft. There are compelling reasons why we should, as a nation, as a zone, be concerned about the various problems that you see in Niger Delta. Many years ago, of course, as you know, Ministry of Niger Delta was put in place, but has it really solved the problems of Niger Delta? No. Then we have the 13% derivative payments. Has it solved the problems of Niger Delta? No. But of course, the current problems, for me, the biggest one is the issue of the Niger Delta youths that are largely unemployed. Most of them, or some of them, have taken to illegal refining, which is a huge problem for the environment. Many of them die in the process of being involved in illegal refining. Look, Niger Delta has more problems, in my opinion, more than any other part of Nigeria. Because when an environment is neglected or polluted or devastated, there isn't much that the people can do other than to take up arms to fight against those who are creating those environmental degradations. As I said, that was why Niger Delta Ministry was created. That's why they're paying 30% derivative. That's why we have the NDDC as a body. But all these agencies, all these intervention agencies, has not provided the needed solutions, and they will not. You know, we must just look beyond the immediate solution. Think about the long-term solution. So people need to be educated. People need to be employed. People need to be well paid. People need to have access to financing. The purchasing power must be there. Of course, the oil companies must also apply the same international best practices as they apply in other nations where they operate. I know, as a matter of fact, that most of these IOCs operate with impunity, so they can have a leakage, for example, in one of their pipelines, and they pretend as if nothing has happened. In the meantime, you go there, you see there's spillage everywhere. I mean, when something happens in America or in Scotland or anywhere else where they are exploring oil, they have obligations. They have international obligations. But because of the way we are structured, our systems are structured, you find that most of these IOCs don't really do what they should do because our people are easily compromised. Some youths, some leaders, political leaders, traditional leaders, for me, the only solution is to have an economy that will create opportunities for everybody. And when that happens, people will feel happy. They will feel that there is need for them to protect their jobs, to protect whatever they are doing that will make them happy. Look, if you think that the solution is, if you think that the solution is to have oil companies giving us money or some foreign company donating money, that is not, that for me is not a solution. Empowerment for me, is, as I said before, is education. It's about employment. But that employment you must earn reasonably well, not just earning pittance. Money you earn is not able to buy you a house or buy you a new car. That's not a long-term solution. Look, there are many people doing so well in the world, all over. They have no oil. They have no natural resources. But technology is all they have. And they are doing so well. Of course, there are other countries also doing so well with oil. They've done so well because of good management. The UAE is an example. Saudi Arabia is an example. Kuwait is there. So for us to look at long-term solutions, for me, is the most important thing.
Well, it's here we conclude Senate 109 for this week. Till next week, I am Dennis Adigunloye. Thanks for watching.